Hello everybody, Captain Kyoraku here, and today, as you can probably tell by the gun and that video right there, we're going to be talking about the Quincy today. More specifically, we're going to be talking about the Stern Ritter. And a lot of the Stern Ritter, 10 I'm going to cover in this video, 11, but 2 of them kind of all in the same vein, just had disappointing ends or didn't even have fights at all. So yeah, I'm going to focus them, I'm going to do alphabetically, just covering each and every one that I feel did not serve the Sterner justice. Some of them, in particular, gotta move that, were some of the major Sterners. You know, I think you can probably figure out who I'm gonna cover first. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and start the video. First one is obviously Sterner A, the king of all Quincy's and the final villain of Bleach. Maybe, I don't know, something might happen in the final chapter. I don't know, Kuba might troll us. You watch. So, first thing, big Deus Ex Machina. That's how it is. Really, that's how it was needed, but here's what I would do. I would probably plan Aizen's Bankai, which, my theory is it makes the Shishikai reality to an extent. You know, like he can kind of alter reality to a minor degree. Sounds overpowered, but hey, it's Aizen, so anything kind of flies with him. To kind of give a boost to the arrow, you know, give it like a real, real damaging effect, like make it the arrow not as much of a Deus Ex Machina, just a way to give him an opening for Ishin's Bankai, or Final Getsuga Tensho, because we know he can do it. Ryuken's Let's Steal and Ichigo Getsuga Tensho to take him out. I think that would be a lot better. That's how I would have done it. You know, like I said, we're covering Sterner deaths, so that's what I would have done in that situation. Not a perfect situation, but given what we have as of that moment, that's probably what I would have done. Sterner B, Hashwalt. Now, this one is a little bit hard, because he is kind of important to my theory of what could have happened, what Kubo could have done. But, you know, we're kind of pledged for time, and it's just a theory at this point. So what I would have done is just, what would have been a better death for him is Ryu Holy Form actually taking him out. You know, giant Let's Steal arrow to the face. You know, one of my favorite scenes during his fight with Mayuri. Just a giant fuck off arrow to break the friendship shield. You know, right before that he has like a flashback to Basby. We have his repentance. See a little bit more about what happened to Basby. You know, what caused him, like, because if you remember when the Holy Selection happened, he basically said, "Is this how you do things? You should have known." He was a complete asshole, you know, he kind of burned down your castle, you know, what the hell happened? Maybe that would have been revealed if we had more time. Just saying. But yeah, friendship shield broken, final flashback, and a Hashwall. That's would have been a better situation. Alright, Sterner G, Lilito Lambert. Now this one is the one I'm going to be pairing with Giselle also. Basically, I wanted to see it. Yeah, like, I guarantee he was not going to put much effort into it, but these were two major Sterners we had to deal with, especially Giselle. Like, we had a lot with Giselle. Like, I want to know what happened, and how do you kill a zombie girl, you know? She got stabbed in the heart by Kensei, you know? What did you all do to finally put her down? Did you just fully select them? What? I would have liked to see it. That's the main thing I have a problem with. Now, we probably saw this next one coming. Sterner and Gerard Valkyrie. Kubo actually had what I would have done, probably the perfect end to the fight, with his triple combo. You know, Kenpachi knocking him down, Toshiro freezing him, and Byakuya using his final Senkei to blow up his head and crumble him to bits. Why didn't you end there? That would have been perfect. I don't know, you just wanted to keep on trolling, I guess, and give us one of the most disappointing endings to any major villain ever. Way to go. Sterner and Robert Alcuchon. What don't we know more about this guy? That's what pisses me off. We only found out his name right before he died, you know, right before Holy Selection kind of killed him. You know, kind of... Just why? Like, he took out Shunsui's eye. That's kind of a big deal. He took out Shunsui's eye before he was even distracted. Speed blitzed Shunsui. Granted, Shunsui wasn't taking him seriously. Like, that's kind of how Stark got off a good shot on Shunsui, but again, like, that's still a hell of a feat. Even Stark didn't do that, even though Stark probably would have killed Shunsui if he didn't get serious, but that's beside the point. Anyway, enough complaining about Robert and how he was handled. What would be a better death for him? Obviously, Shunsui fighting him, that would have been great. Maybe see a little bit more expanded on his Shikai, hints to his Bankai. Who knows, but again, we didn't really get really too terribly good stuff with Shunsui this arc, which I'm really sad about. I'll talk about that when I get to Lille. Yeah, of course, Lille's there. Another one I was kind of thinking is maybe Ryukin. Now, this one's just kind of a theory. One, I want to see Ryukin fight somebody. Two, because of how old Robert Actron is, and him saying he was part of the Stern Ritter the longest, or longer than most of them, it's highly likely he might have known Soken. That would have been interesting. Maybe we get to see more about Soken and learn more about Robert. Maybe they were friends, like Tekking says. Maybe they were friends. Maybe they hung out. I don't know. That would have been cool. But no, we just got a pretty cool fight with him. Nothing else. He got obliterated by the Holy Selection somehow. I still want an explanation on that. Sterner P. Menendez McAllen. Now, as you probably know if you've seen my post in S.H.I.E.L.D., she is my Sterner waifu. I am a complete otaku when it comes to her. She's just really cute. Anyway, we didn't really get much from her, which is really unfortunate. I would have loved to see a fight with her and Nell. Because another thing, Nell didn't get a good fight in the entire series. Yeah, she beat the shit out of Notora for a second, then she turned back into a child before you even ran into his resurrection, and that's just sad. Like, she's a really damn cool character, one of the fan favorites. Why don't we see more? I don't know, but Menendez versus Nell would have been awesome. Love to see that fight. But Menendez is probably dead somewhere with the Holy Selection happened to her. Alright, Sterner Q. Now, you probably don't remember her, or him actually. First revealed to be a her, now it's apparently a him due to the Viz Media. What Bernice's power was basically making you doubt yourself. You know, it's the question. He's able to make you doubt yourself no matter what. Of course, this didn't work on Kenpachi because he just fought the Roar, which I'll talk about in a second. He couldn't hear him, so he just cut his throat and monologuing, and probably one of the funniest damn things ever, considering, you know, we have two major villains that are monologuing monsters, you know, Aiz and Yua, and he just cut his throat. That was hilarious to me. But anyway, I think what would have been a cool fight is between Bernice against Izuru or Shuhei, because we didn't get much from either of them this arc. But yeah, they're Sterners that really, Quincy, damn it. They are Shinigami that really doubt themselves a lot, you know, especially, you know, Shuhei with, him fearing his Zanpakuto, so that would have been a really interesting, real psychological look. Yeah, they'll probably beat the shit out of Bernice at the end of the day, but maybe would have gotten Shuhei's Bankai. That would have been cool, you know, not just another fodder for Kenpachi to kill. You know, maybe coming out with Royd, you know, considering how Sterner were dominating up until that point. You know, he didn't have to have three, he could have just had one. That's all I'm saying. Or maybe him and Roar, because Roar, I'll mention him, but it's not nearly as much as what I would have wanted from Bernice and Shuhei fighting. Anyway, Sterner R, the Roar. He's basically just a Sonic-based attack. I would have loved to see a fight with Rose. This is basically just because I love Rose. That would have been a really cool fight. 2 Sonic-based attacks, 2 sound-based. That would have been interesting. That's all I'm saying. Not much to say there. Sterner T. Candace Catnip, the Thunder Bitch. And what I like to call the Slut, based on how she dresses, but anyway. Her versus Yoruichi would have been fun. Again, she was fighting Askin, so that's too much to ask, but 2 lightning cat-like people fighting against each other, that would have been entertaining for me. Anyway. Or Ukitake, because again, like, still would have been nice for him to get a kill off on a Sterner before, you know, he went, maybe Hage died, maybe he's a Soul King now, I'm not sure. That would have been really interesting. You know. Wish we got more with Ukitake this arc, I think we can all agree on that. Final Sterner, Sterner X, Lily Barrow. Oh boy, this one. Basically, they got the stuff with them now. I'll get to that in a second. Let Shunsui's Bankai kill him. Now, as you might know, based on the chapter titles, double theater suicide, his final move is more likely a double suicide. If it kills the opponent, it kills Shunsui. What I'm thinking is, it does kill Lele, but Shunsui, because he doesn't want to have to now lose someone else, lost mother, father, Lisa, until she became a captain, lost Lisa for a while. Pretty much only had Shunsui, he doesn't want to lose again. We'll still get the very tragic backstory about Shunsui, why he's one of my favorite characters. Still is, probably number 2, very close to Rukia. Yeah, probably number 2, yeah, I think he beats out Askin at the end of the day. We still get all that, but add in to the fact he gets the kill. He deserves the kill, he's the captain commander. One of the strongest captains in the entire Go Theater team, probably the 3rd strongest captain. You take out Yama and Unohana. Even then, like, it's arguable that his techniques might be able to give Unohana a damn good fight. So yeah, maybe I'm thinking was like, yeah, this might be a little bit far-fetched, but this is what would have been cool. Maybe he's not able to ever talk with Ohana again. That's the price for not dying. Get a really emotional moment. He's not able to see his love again. But on the flip side, we see a little ray of hope. He can see Kokotsu, or the child, what is implied to be his and Ohana's child. He's able to see anytime he wants, which I think would be pretty damn cool. That's just an idea, kind of far-fetched, but at the end of the day, what I would have done is just let Shunsui get the kill off. Don't care about them now that much. We didn't need to see your Zanpakuto in that Deus Ex Machina. Even then, it still didn't kill Lily. I guess the actual one killed him. The same one that killed Gerard, because I doubt Cyborg Easer was able to do it. Even then, I would love to see what happened with that. So yeah. Anyway, those are the 10 Sterner that really should have gotten much better deaths, or more dignified deaths than they were given. But there were some really good Sterner deaths. Asnot, Pernida, Askin, and plenty others got really cool deaths. It's just something that would have bumped up the arc a little bit more for me. I love the arc, a lot of cool things, but again, because of rushing at the end, because of Shonen. Anyway, also, keep in mind that the captains are going to be doing something special. We are currently working on something very special for you. Apart from this video, the video has nothing to do with it. It's my own side project. But we are currently working on something special for you that we will try to reveal on Thursday to kind of make up for no chapter that week. Anyway, this is Captain Kyoraku, signing out.